times. And I don't care if anybody heard that because I do. Yeah. Hi, guys. Hello, hello.
Hello. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. Happy Healthy Goals Wednesday.
I hope everybody's
So
well.
we have Jan, Bob, Lori, Rebecca in the chat so far. So if you can hear the sound of our voice, if you would share this out on your community tab, community post, whatever you want to call it, share it out for us to get a few more people in here. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Thank you for
What are you
being here.
laughing about, Nancy?
Because I forgot to share it out myself.
So
Nancy, our guest today at our home.
While she's sharing it out, Heather, do you want to talk about the new challenge you're going to put out?
Oh, yeah. I put on my community post. I did a survey to see if people wanted to do a 30-day challenge. And I was going to let y'all decide if you wanted to do walking or arms or legs. Well, then after I got some people that did the survey, which I don't know who all did it, I decided, you know what? Let's let everybody pick it. So from May 5th until June 5th, you will choose what you want to do yourself. So if you want to do walking, or if you want to do your arms, or if you want to do your legs, or a combination of any of them, you pick whichever one or ones you want to do. You set a schedule for yourself, how long, how many days you want to do it. But the goal is to commit for 30 days to whatever you decide that you can do physically for yourself.
May 5th through June 5th?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm writing it down. Did you find any good exercises for your arms? Like, maybe something with weights?
I found one without weights, and you literally put your arms back here and you go slowly. You cup your hands and you just go like this. You don't want to go like this. You just
slower.
Yeah. And so it was 100 of those. So I do 50 in the morning and 50 at night. So I'm doing my arms. I do quite a bit of walking daily anyways. And then I'm throwing in a few extra leg thingies.
Yeah, I was hoping that the book I got for chair exercises was going to have more pictures and stuff, but it really didn't have pictures. I wanted to do a special thank you to Bill Beck, who did a super chat on the live last night. So thank you so much, Anne. I appreciate it very, very much.
Yeah. So the whole thing with the 30-day challenge is to get people up and motivated and becoming a healthier you. Hopefully it'll help inspire you to keep going and doing something, and, we'll keep checking every weekend with everybody, when we do our Wednesdays. And then, in June, we'll check in and see, do you notice a difference 30 days later and, whatever it was that you added to your routine.
I just got through watching Jen's video too. Okay, so I'm going to do arms because I haven't done that in a while, and I do have some flabbiness going on over here.
For the flag club, yeah.
Hi, Ariella. Welcome in.
It's just camouflage. Oh, good morning, Ariella.
Yeah, 3/4 length sleeves, so hide all this.
All of it, yeah. Yeah, I know there's some different people who are doing some walking that needed to do some walking. So I've heard.
Yeah, I've already been doing the walking. So the arms would add something that I'm not doing to it. So I think.
Yeah, so I just kind of put it in your head and figure out.
Committing to the arms part. Nancy, right? Which one are you going to do?
Arms.
Arms, okay.
I wanted it to include everybody because I know that not everybody, for whatever reasons, can do. If we were to choose one thing, not everybody, for whatever reasons, can do the one thing. So that's why you can pick which out of the three or all three or whatever you want to do. Do
Lori
it though.
says, welcome in.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's
all kinds of things you can do with your arms.
yeah. You can take something and you can't see. If you hold your arm against your body like that, and you're like, like that, and if it's too easy for you, do more of them, or you can add a light weight. Just don't do too much. Be safe.
Yeah, I have 3-pound weights and 5-pound weights.
That's awesome.
That's a good goal, Bob. That's a good goal. I bet you'll hit those steps with gardening. Yeah, I've seen you guys are doing a lot of gardening. I was just watching Jan's video too, because Lori said she was watching it. So, and she also tagged me in the video, so I was listening to see what she was going to say about me. And she was talking about getting impatient for the seeds to come up, and if that happens, she's going to throw another seed in like Dale does.
Yeah, I saw that.
She also mentioned me when she was talking about biochar, because I was telling her you could buy some biochar at Wakefield brand biochar at Walmart.
Thank you, Troy.
Legs are important.
Ooh, water bath candy. That's awesome.
Water bath.
Yeah, candy. I need to. Since I use canes, I have 2 canes, and I need to, strengthen my arms. I mean, they're strong as they are, but more so because there are times I really rely on this cane to hold me up.
Yeah.
I could see
that's
how
what I thought too, like getting out of the bathtub and whatnot. I don't want to be someday where I can't get myself out of the bathtub.
Yeah, I saw that they got these tubs now where you can go in and actually take a bath while seated in.
Is that the one with the door?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm very confused. So do you have to let all the water drain out while you sit there freezing to death?
Yes. No.
Yeah. Hi, Linda, with another time. So, so we're going to let Nancy kind of just tell us about the kinds of things she can eat and not eat, because everybody's different. We want to just approach healthy eating with everyone's things in mind. So Nancy is actually dairy free. So do you want to tell us maybe some companies you use? How do you avoid using dairy? Just give us some tips and tricks on that.
Yes. When Anastasia was born, well, let me back up from there. When my son, that's her dad, was born, he had some health issues. The sphincter muscle, the muscle at the end of your esophagus, the sphincter, had not fully developed. So that was part of his issue and everything. And then as he was growing up, we went to doctors and they did that for GI. When he was 11, the doctor goes, "Oh yeah, it's active." I'm like, "You gonna do anything about it?" And she never answered me. When he was 16, when we had more tests done, still the same thing. "Oh, it's active." I'm like, "Well, what do you do about it?" Because we have heard about surgery. They never did anything for him. So he had started drinking. He did hot sauce, the Texas Pete, and he would put everything he ate, and that was the only way that it really calmed down things. Because we thought it was tomato sauce, and then we thought different things. When he was 17, it came out and it came across about the fact if you're dairy, something wrong with the dairy, or if you're intolerant to dairy, and you didn't have any dairy, like you got soy milk or almond milk. So we went soy, and for 3 days, and so what happens was that if you were sick, was your body was purging the milk products out of your body. And poor thing, he was so sick. I'm like, that's it. That's what the whole issue was.
What are the signs of a dairy intolerance?
All right. The signs of a dairy, that's a long list. It could be headaches, you could be vomiting, it could be itching, it can be hives. And it doesn't, now, between the allergy and the intolerance. The intolerance can take up to 72 hours, 3 days to show up.
Oh,
Now, if
wow.
you have an allergy like Anastasia does, it's immediate.
Okay.
So,
which is an extreme allergy.
extreme. So, we still never got him tested, but just finding that on the internet, and when we started changing over to soy products or dairy free back then, it helped him out. He still uses hot sauce. I mean, the most hot thing more than ghost peppers, because he's gotten so used to it that it just takes like ketchup to him.
Yeah.
So,
Wow, I can imagine.
so when Anastasia was born, I told them if I'm not at the hospital and they come in and say she's throwing everything up, she has an allergy. So, and by the time I had other people that were living with us, taking them to work and everything, and they called me on the phone and said, "You need to get up here." I'm like, "All right." When I got there, they said, "She's got an allergy." I'm like, "What's going on?" So they told me. They said they were feeding her, and all of a sudden she just started throwing everything up. I said, "Well, they need to test that she has an allergy by changing the milk, or she might have the same problems that her daddy had." When they changed the milk, she was fine. So she was on soy powdered milk when she was a baby. When she was about 18 months was when they were able to finally test to see what it was. And it came out. Now, on the high level, it was 11.7. Even a 0.3, if you have like a 0.3, you have an intolerance, and a 0 is negative. So, anything greater than a 3 millimeter, when they test you on your skin and it comes up the little raised bump and everything, and they measure that, that's how they figured that out. Well, when they did her dairy, it was the size of a quarter on her back.
Oh,
So
Hello, Beth.
that
they
doesn't sound good.
go ahead. Hi, Beth. So when she was 18 months, then again when she was like 4 or 5, and then they tested her again last summer, and it's still the same. Now the doctor wanted to try to see that what they could try to do now is if you have an allergy, whether it's dairy, peanuts, soy, just a little bit at a time while you're at the doctor's office. And they asked her after she had the test, and she said no. I'm like, oh, I don't blame her, because she knows. Even before the pandemic, when we went to the grocery store, from the time she was a baby, we've had to wipe down the handlebars of the cart, because even just a residue of milk, any dairy products or whatever, something I had spilt, if she
Oh,
touched it, she would break. She hives around her mouth
I've
and
never
everything.
heard of that for dairy. I've heard of that for peanuts before, because there are kids in the lunchroom. If they have a peanut allergy, they are not allowed to sit next to someone eating a peanut butter sandwich.
Yeah. So
Wow, that extreme.
exactly. So I'll never forget when we were at Whole Foods,
That's
and
awesome.
it was kind of after the mask, and somewhere in there, and we were wiping it down, and the lady goes, "I don't blame you," and everything. And I turned to her, I said, "My granddaughter has a dairy allergy, and she even touches something that has a residue of regular dairy or even a vegan dairy, organic dairy. She breaks out in hives." I said, "We've been doing this way before this time, since 2013. And she just looked at me so funny. And I'm like, "Yeah, that's how serious she is."
wow.
When she was 18 months old, and this was before they tested her, the doctor, she had gone for a checkup at the pediatrician. He said, "Try goat's milk or goat cheese." So we did, you know. She started blowing up like a balloon. We went to
She's allergic to goat's milk too.
goat's milk.
They did that to me when I was a baby. I was allergic to regular milk. And so they put me on goat's milk, but I wasn't allergic to it. So I think I was on that for a while.
Yeah.
I guess
So
my mom stopped.
Mm-hmm.
whatever.
So we went up to the fire department, which was only like a few blocks up from us. And the paramedic goes, "Oh, she's fine. Here she is. She is crying. She can hardly breathe. Her face is swelling." He tells us to go home and to keep an eye on her. I said, "Let's go." I was so mad. We took her down to Nationwide Children's Hospital, and they rushed her into. When we got there, they saw her. They rushed her back and gave her Benadryl.
Yeah.
And the doctor wanted all the information of where we went, who we talked to, and everything. He called and reported it. He goes, "You don't have to do anything." He goes, "I'll do that." He goes, "They should have put her in the ambulance and brought her here." He was so mad. He knew who the paramedic was too. So there, no goat cheese, no regular cheese, no cow's milk, no goat milk, none of that. She can't have any of it. Now silk soy we used to get and everything, and she just got to a point she just didn't like it no more. So I was about 4 or 5. She was 4 or 5. So that was about 6 years ago, and we switched it to almond milk. So I did some research. The company that bought out Silk Milk owns well, the organic farm that has the red and white
Alpenrose.
carton. Organic Farms, I think is what it is. Well,
Not Horizon. Is it Horizon?
I think it's Horizon, but it's under a different name. So if you search Silk and who bought it out, they'll come up with the name. So I called them and I said, "Don't y'all do the organic milk too?" And they go, "Oh yeah." I'm like, "Well, what about cleaning them?" "Oh, we make sure it's clean in between and everything." I said, "No, you should use separate equipment, because some of your organic milk is still getting mixed in with your silk soy milk." And she goes, "Well, how do you know that?" I said, "Because my granddaughter has a dairy allergy and she just had a reaction to your silk soy." And the lady goes, "Oh." Of course, it's this customer service, and they never got anybody else from the company to call me and say anything. So what we do, there's Follow Your Heart, VO Life. Myers has come out with their own dairy-free cheese. God bless you. Kroger's come out with their own, and I think that was one of the best things through the pandemic that happened, was companies realized that people had food allergies. Pillsbury changed their formula on their biscuits, their dough, the pizza dough, everything, because we used to have to make everything ourselves when it comes to breads. I still like making my own pizza dough. But, Duncan Hines and Betty Crocker, they changed their formula and it's a dry milk powder they would put in there as a preservative. So they changed all their formulas to where now, and we can buy it. Some places you still have to watch. It says, like when it says processed in the same facility as tree nuts, peanuts, soy, milk.
I have a little bit of a peanut allergy, but it's like slight. It's not like real extreme. So I don't worry about if something's cooked in it because I haven't had a reaction. But yeah, that does happen.
Yeah. So there's some products that we still have to be careful on.
Hi, Penny. So tell me this. Okay. So when I handle chamomile, because a lot of chamomile, like a lot of it grows on my property. If I harvest it and wash my hands, I'm fine. But if I don't wash my hands, and my hands are fine when I touch it, no problems whatsoever. But if I was to go like this or like this or something, my face swells and gets hot, inflamed, like burning. So what is called?
That's an allergy, but it could be a contact allergy.
Yeah.
And so that makes me wonder because so I've been getting migraines since I was like a baby, right? And different things cause me to get migraines, but also I don't know if the green stuff that people grow that is
Right.
legal or illegal, you know, that stuff.
Depending on where you live, yeah.
Depending where you live. If somebody's growing it somewhere and I can smell the growing, I get migraine. Or if somebody smokes it in a car or somewhere at a park,
You
or
get in that
an
car
event,
and you mess up.
like instantly migraine. So I was wondering if that and chamomile have something in common.
Huh, you ought to research that.
Yeah, like I don't know, because to me chamomile kind of smells like it.
My husband gets his migraines from raspberry and what's products that have that emulsifier type stuff. You know what I'm talking about? It's preservative, a specific preservative, basically.
Right.
That one they put in, well, I don't know if they put it in that, but anyway, there's a preservative and raspberries for him.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah, those are the only two things, and I feel like there's a correlation between those two. So.
I bet there is. Yeah, if you did the research, maybe you could have a future herbalist, Tammy, with Mountain Grandma, look into that for you.
Yes, because it's a mystery. Like
she might like that little project. Hello, Robin.
Yeah, I didn't ever know that I had an issue with it.
Dinner's in the microwave.
And so I asked an herbalist if I should drink it, because most people say, "Oh, drink chamomile tea, drink chamomile tea," and I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah,
and she told me, "Do not do it."
No,
not do it.
I know you're not gonna like the sound of this, Heather, but I don't think you should be growing it or handling it either.
Well, I'm not growing it anymore, but handling it's fine. I just need to make sure I wash my hands.
Yeah.
Do you have a ragweed allergy?
I don't
know. Chamomile is in the family, ragweed family. I see. I cannot pronounce the name. It's Asteris, something like that family. And I thought I had it written down, but I'm gonna read y'all something here in a minute. All right, let's see.
We're getting educated.
We're getting educated. Educated by Nancy, Our Treasured Home. Hey, if we have a moderator while she's looking for that, will you guys put in the link to Our Treasured Home? What is that?
I don't know that I've ever touched ragweed.
I got something in the mail today.
Yes.
What
you get?
It's a new car visor because mine broke in my car, and my other one keeps like flopping down. Like I'll be driving and it'll do this in front of my face. We tried to Velcro it, that wouldn't work. So he had.
Yeah,
I told him, I said I don't want to be a high maintenance wife, but that's dangerous. And it's about to get the sunny time of the year. I said, that's just dangerous. We got to fix that. And taking it down would be dangerous too, because that Texas sun in your eyes sometimes, certain times of the day, you know, it could be rough. So I finally broke down and asked him to order me one.
That's good. That's good because, sometimes you come around a corner or something, you need to see
Yeah. The other day I had the contacts on because I had lost my glasses. And so I'm already wearing the contacts because I can't find my glasses. And then the sun's in my eyes, and then I can't use the visor, and then I put on these really crazy looking sunglasses over the contacts because it's so bright. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm having such a hard time today. I was like, oh, today finally, I had a feeling. I want you guys. Okay, Heather, don't answer. Jen, Linda, don't answer. Okay. If you know because you're in a chat with me, don't answer. But where do you think I found my glasses? I want you to guess. Now, they were gone for a week, if that helps. Did you see the spatulas that I won last night? I passed your information. I passed your information along to Lori because Lori's going to be the one sending those. Lori and Bob with It All Adds Up and Robin Hood Homestead will send that out. But I forwarded your information. If I didn't know, I'm sure I did. But if you didn't get it, Lori, if you're in the chat, let me know. But I did all that forwarding last night. But anybody got a guess as to where I found my... Okay, let's see. Kill them. They were delivered today. You already got them? On the bedstand, there's a guess.
Already?
In the bathroom or out in the flower bed. Okay, you're close, Penny. You're close. It's a little bit more detailed than that. So the answer is in the bathroom trash.
She's
I had a feeling because sometimes I laid them there, and I literally had to. I told hubby, don't take the trash to the thing because I think my glasses are in there. So the trash is piling up. Finally today, I had to run an errand. When I came back, I said, when you get back from your errand, you have to do that in the refrigerator. That'd be a good one. On top of your head, can you imagine?
I told her to get a case and screw it on the wall somewhere and always put her glasses in it. Well, you don't have
I need it to be a specific place. But yeah, they were in the
or something.
Trash. They literally got tied into, you know how you put your Walmart sack inside the bathroom trash and you tie it and you take it out. Well, on the very bottom of the trash, I had to dig to the bottom, guys. And I had to, so I knew I didn't have to open the kitchen size bags. Okay.
So there was like booger tissue.
So it had to be the Walmart sacks. Okay. Of course, I had to run across the cat litter bag. Of course. So after the cat litter bag experience, I decided, let me make sure this looks like bathroom trash. Oh, this one looks kind of like bathroom trash. And I opened it and there they were. I was like,
She's like, is it? I'm not sure.
Well, I have my contacts.
You have to use your smell.
Okay. On your head. Okay, Nancy, go ahead with what you were going to say. Sorry, I had my story.
Girl.
I know, right?
It's spelled ASTERAC.
Oh, Aster. Aster family?
Yeah, the Aster family.
Chamomile. Asters.
No, there's a lot of flowers in there. Chrysanthemums, common daisy, dandelions, transable daisy, common sunflower, aster marigold, dahlia, lettuce, sunflowers, cornflower, artichoke, mugworts, coneflower, German chamomile, bells, snapweeds, mayweeds, calendula, zena, pot marigold, yarrow, African daisies, chicory, ragworts, milk. It says milk thistle, but and ragweed,
But if you're allergic to one, does that mean you're allergic to all of them?
Most likely.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I'm not allergic to any of those except for the chamomile.
All right.
How
So-
about
So
Art?
there's
Art
something
Wild
different
might
about
know.
chamomile.
Art, do you think how do you say it? How do you state the question properly? Is there a correlation or a link to the greens? How do I say the green stuff?
The stalks. Are
Greenery.
you talking about stalks?
The
No,
greenery.
I'm talking about the stuff that people smoke that's legal or not legal.
Oh,
Why wouldn't you be allowed to say that? It's legal in a lot of states now.
I don't know. I just don't want to get anybody in trouble. Okay, so weed,
Talking about the Mary Jane, guys.
the Mary Jane
okay?
weed, I get bad migraines for. I'm asking Ark. And chamomile, is there like a relation to the two?
that I don't know, but there's a possibility. So this is the book I have. It's called Allergy Free. But here it talks about, it says, all right, immediate versus delayed allergy reactions. The most common allergic reactions occur immediately after exposure to certain substances, peanuts, pollen, bee venom, or cats, for example. These reactions are typically caused by IgE antibodies, resulting in a runny nose, watery eyes, itching, and skin rashes. More severe reactions include constriction of the bronchial tubes and difficulty breathing. Delayed allergies are another type of allergic reactions which can manifest symptoms up to 72 hours after exposure to a triggering substance. These symptoms often appear as illness or disorders seemingly unrelated to an allergy, such as Lagarthe, attention deficit disorder, fatigue, hyperactivity, itchy skin, mood swings, insomnia, and joint inflammation. Many of these reactions are caused by IgG immunoglobulins. Up to 80 different medical conditions, from arthritis, asthma, to autism, to insomnia and diabetes, have been clinically associated with food allergy reactions. And I have another book.
I think a lot of the food allergies, well, you can tell me if you agree, Nancy. You don't have to agree. But do you think a lot of the food allergies we have today are related to the crap they're putting in our food?
100%.
Yep. Okay.
100%.
You're going to agree or be like, what?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely, because all right, so now from 2017 up to now, I've got this on my channel. You just have to search for it. For 4 years, so off and on from 2017, I got bit by a tick. Didn't think anything about it. Been bit before, everything else. And a month later, my hands. And then it would go away. Now, it got really bad right as the seed hit.
Now, talking about allergies.
Yes. So,
Itchy. I got.
yeah, I know. So, my hands got so bad. Yeah. I know I have a picture on here to where they would just, it would be like little blisters. They wouldn't pop. They just dry up, and then my hands would crack. And I thought I was going to lose my hands at one point. And one day, I even got special gloves to wear, cotton gloves. I was using CeraVe, and I'm like, all right, Lord, you've got to show me what's going on, because I've looked at everything from a nickel allergy, thinking it's canned food, to something else or whatever. And we had just had hamburgers, and I'm fixing a roast, and I'm like, or the opposite way. And I'm like, I wonder if this is it. And I'm telling you, it's like Jesus was standing right beside me, tapping me on my shoulder. He goes, there's your problem. Now, for a year and a half straight. I could not, for every time I try to talk about what I did, the Lord just shut my mouth. He go, ain't the time. It ain't the time. I did a Daniel fast. Every time I try to say I did a Daniel fast, it wouldn't come out. I was like, okay, Lord, you know the time when it's right to sit there. So when I figured that's what it was, I did a Daniel fast, and within 30 days, my hands started to clear up. So we knew then, no more beef, pork. I mean,
what is Daniel fast?
Vegetables only.
A Daniel fast.
Mm-hmm.
The Daniel fast is where you cut out, like if with beef or your chicken or whatever. But I just had chicken and turkey, and you eat vegetables and fruit.
Yeah.
So it's something that you think that's causing you to have a reaction to something, or you just want to cleanse your body anyway. The biblical nutritionist who's on YouTube, she has a lot of information about the Daniel fast. So I did that, and I did 21 days, and my hands started healing and everything, and I started crying. That's part of my problem sometimes is I get in my head about this stuff.
Nancy, I have a channel that I would like you to check out that was also bitten by a tick and has lots of information. So I want you to check this channel out right here. She's done much research and stuff like that.
Okay.
Go to her channel, because some of your things might be just watch her stuff and listen to her stuff, and you can ask her questions. She's super nice. Maybe it's some stuff that might help you.
Oh, yes.
Your own food, definitely. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going to actually plant my first asparagus seeds tomorrow. I tried to plant them while on the phone with Heather earlier.
Fun.
And then what happened, Heather?
With what?
Spider. I tried to plant my asparagus.
I wish she was recording it. Yeah, she was. It was trying to get her a spider today while Gail was gardening. But yeah, go check out that channel. She has videos on her journey and how her doctor kept telling her, you're fine, it's all in your head. And they were going to do all this other stuff not pertaining to what was really going on.
Yeah.
Okay, so Nancy, give us an example of what kinds of things you eat every day and how you substitute regular items people would eat with your dairy-free things. Or how do you make your life dairy-free?
So how this started with, as far as like really doing the channel, doing videos, I was on Stringfield Ridge Farm channel, Teresa and Lee, and so this is like 6.5 years ago, and somebody had talked about like spaghetti or lasagna that what they were having and everything. I said, oh, we have lasagna, but it's dairy free, typing in the chat and everything, and go, so Teresa goes, how do you eat a dairy free? You've got to use the ricotta cheese and this, that, and the other. So I'm trying to explain in the chat. She goes, why don't you do a video and show us how you do it? So that's how that all started.
Is that how you started your channel?
That's how that started the channel.
Really? That's cool.
Yeah.
So that was one of the first things we did was the lasagna, and then there was cinnamon rolls, spaghetti and everything. So trying to remember the vegan cheese we used to use, because we don't use it no more. It was a soy-based vegan cheese, and then they came out with Follow Your Heart, which tastes a whole lot better anyway. So,
is there a store where you can buy the dairy-free cheese, or do you have to order it online?
Whole Foods was where we used to go get it a lot. Now that other brands have come out, Miyoko's, they'll still Follow Your Heart, VO Life. A lot of the Myers and Kroger's have come out with their own brand. So like I was saying, during the pandemic, companies were starting to realize, hey, wait a minute, something's going on here. Or my son said, Anastasia's dad, or somebody in a higher management's child ended up with a dairy allergy, and they realized, hey, let's change our formula because we can't have this no more. So Kite Hill is another one that has vegan cream cheese. Let's say VL Life. Earth Balance used to have the butter, but they don't. I don't not out there now. Like Country Crock, they came out with a vegan butter. Smart Balance is now has a that was Earth Balance. Smart Balance has a vegan butter, and it just depends. I mean, they still use like olive oil in their
you have to be careful still and read the ingredients, even though it says.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's for sure. So, anyways, there are treatments that can help. So, I recommend definitely go over there and check that out.
Hey, Carol.
As far as trying to find out what I could eat and everything, I knew not to have the beef or bacon products. You can't have deer, rabbit, anything that has 4 legs or hooves. So, like bison, all that's out.
Rabbit.
Rabbit. Yep, I can't have that.
Chicken.
Chicken, turkey, and any fowl or fish. And I don't like fish.
You'd like sturgeon.
You mostly eat chicken or turkey? Is that what you mainly eat, chicken or turkey?
Chicken or turkey. What were you saying, Heather?
Oh, sturgeon. That's a type of fish that's a white meat, and it doesn't have that fishy taste.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, Walmart started carrying a mahi-mahi, and they have it in the frozen section, kind of bagged up like tilapia, and it doesn't have a flavor either.
That was at the worst time with my hands. And I'm telling you, I thought I was going to lose my hands.
Man.
And yeah, and I was just like, and the splitting and everything, and I was like, oh, crying every day and praying every day, and trying to take care of Anastasia and cook, and it was like, that was difficult. So back in August, July of last year, I was insurance finally had went to an allergist. They did the alpha-gal test and everything, came back negative. She said, well, you don't have, but just don't eat it no more. She goes, I'm like, if I don't have it, what's the difference? So I was like, when you save on the grocery bill, so start eating regular beef again. We had spaghetti, tacos, you name it and everything. In 30 days, I did not put this together. It started with my right eye. And it was like just a little red, right? Just a little red right there. I'm like, okay. I had started doing other things like castor oil. I didn't put the drops in, but I made some mixed it with olive oil to make like a lotion. I was putting it on my eyes and everything. And it would get better, then it get worse. I'm like, okay, wait a minute here.
I remember your eye thing, but I didn't remember what the problem was.
So I was like, okay. So then I was talking to Susan, the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch, because then I went to the left eye. I was like, okay, there's swans. And I'm like, this is around Thanksgiving. So I was putting tea bags on there, and I was putting, and then cold packs, and then a warm pack. The swelling go down, and they come back up. And I'm like, oh, yeah, people say chamomile tea is good for that, because that was one thing that someone said. I made chamomile tea, got the tea bag, put it on my eye. My eye was so swollen, it was almost swollen shut. And I was like, okay, that's a no-go. So I started taking pictures. Well, probably. I'm just trying to find one that's all right. That's what happened. They were so swollen.
Ouch.
Yeah, I
That's
remember watching your videos on your updates and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. So at Christmas time, when I made that pork sausage roll with the phyllo dough, I had some. Then we thought it was soy. So for 2 weeks, I stopped all soy stuff. It kind of like helped a little bit, but it wasn't. So the day after Christmas, I had some of that pork sausage left. I fixed it, and I had the worst reaction. I'm like, you are kidding me. So I kept putting things were going on. Did I put it off? And then something come up, and this, that, and the other. So I'm like, okay, let's stop the beef again and everything. Let's see. And it started to clear up the swelling, and then it was something else I would eat, and I couldn't figure out what it was. So I was able to go to a different allergist, which was the Monday's video that I did. And they did all that paper. They did all the tests and everything. He did the beef, the pork, and the whole allergy panel. And he told me, his nurse called me immediately when they got the blood work done back. And she said, he goes, it doesn't show that you have alpha gall. He goes, you can have an intolerance to the beef now because it's not a full-blown allergy. Just like when people have an intolerance to milk. They can drink it, but hours later, they don't feel good, their stomach hurts, they may be throwing up, whatever. They said, if you eat something, he goes, in a few hours, because he was talking to me after they did all the pen tests and everything. And I explained to him, it happens sometimes within an hour, hours later, or a couple of days. And he looking at the pictures, he goes, don't eat it. He goes, if you want to eat it, just make it every once in a while. He goes, because your body is not handling it anymore. So I was just like, oh, this is fun. Things I could eat all my life, now I can't.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
sad. That would be sad. No beef. Oh.
So when they did the test, they did the pen test prick stuff all on my back. And I mean, they did every single thing they could that day. And then they did the,
Was it painful?
Not really, but it's just like someone with a stick pin poking you.
Just poking you over and over again.
Yeah. And so the guys go, we're sorry for doing this. I said, if you don't poke and prod, you don't find the answer out. They got to laugh.
I would want to have it done just because I think I may have some nut allergies, but I don't really know which ones I'm allergic to. And I've been thinking maybe if I just ate one nut for 1 week and then the next week eat a different nut and just have it be a different one, I could narrow it down to which
How
ones
ready you were?
Huh?
Yeah.
Nothing.
So
but I missed it. Whatever you said.
I said then you'd know how nutty you are.
Oh, I am very, very nutty. So,
I'm kidding.
I'm very, very nutty.
Well, one thing that happens is if you've eaten something and you've had it, and it didn't agree with you, heartburn, indigestion, may just feel or blah, and then you go and you go to pick it, I really like this, and you go to pick it up and you look at it, and all of a sudden that memory comes back. Oh, when I ate that, that's an intolerance to it at least, and so that makes me think. All right, so when they did this, and I found out the trees, and so it's Bermuda grass, and the trees are birch, oak, American beech, hickory, and walnut trees. So I was like, oh, wonderful. Just I know the pollen stuff and everything. So then I got to research on about foods that are maybe related to these trees and everything. So Bermuda grass, which, it's in Bermuda, it doesn't grow here in Ohio, but, melons, watermelons, tomatoes, citrus, bananas, pineapples, persimmons, zucchini, hazelnuts, and peanuts. And I'm like, I got to thinking, I say, peaches, that makes sense, because I remember eating a peach when I was growing up, and I told my grandma, I said, something's not right. The roof of my mouth is itching. She goes, oh, that's just from the fuzzy things on the peach, skin of the peach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I know. I say, no, that just means I'm not supposed to eat that.
Do you sometimes feel like that you should test these things yourself, though, to make sure? Because your eating window is getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and you're going to risk getting food fatigue. So I mean, I'm no doctor, but I think you should test some of these things out, because make sure, maybe make sure, narrow it out, because you don't want your eating window to be so small that literally you get tired of what you're eating all the time. Because I'm worried about that for you. Like, you've narrowed down, like, can you be tested for those specific things, so that you're not taking out things that you could possibly be still having some more selection and choices to eat. So
So if I invite you over for dinner, I'm feeding you water.
There you go.
Have turkey and vegetables.
That's hard.
Yeah. So I eat cabbage and radishes and turnips. I try an acorn squash. I can have the squash. So like the yellow squash, the patty pans, anything but zucchini. And I love zucchini, but this was the question I asked the guys who were doing the prick test before I saw the doctor. I said, I have a question for you. And they go, yeah. I'm like, could it be the pesticides that they use on the farmers that have to use stuff and everything on the food that's making me having these reactions? And they go, you're the third person in a week that has asked that question.
Yep.
So the question is
out there. I'm so proud of you for asking, because
that's a very good question, because maybe you should narrow some of these things out on your own. Maybe grow the zucchini and try it, or buy one. If don't buy one at the store. Grow your own. Just like two little bitty plants, and just see. If not, you could always give the fruit, the zucchini, to your neighbors or your church or someone else.
Exactly.
But test it, because you could be those chemicals, because you don't want your eating window to be so tiny that you can't enjoy some of your life. I feel that's wow.
Yeah.
Do you eat bread?
Yeah. I do what?
Do you eat bread?
I make my own bread.
Yeah, but you do eat bread.
I do eat bread. So, and I do the low carb too thing. So, but as far as like other things, actually it wasn't really that much of a list as far as what I can't eat. Well, it's not that I can't eat, it's belonging into these tree families that I guess they cross-pollinate or whatever. And, we have apples, peaches, apricot, cherries, plums, pears, almonds, hazelnuts, carrots, celery, parsley, caraway, fennel, coriander, anise, soybeans, peanuts, strawberries, chicory, fig, kiwi, nectarine, parsnips, peaches, peppers, potatoes, and wheat. Then pecans and walnuts. And I'm just like, some of these things I understand why they have there listed, because of where they're grown. A lot of these were grown, in the tropical areas where they, things cross and everything else. And I did have some coffee that was made with chicory and everything, and I never thought anything about it. And I was like, well, man, it couldn't be that coffee. And see, chicory is in the astrus family. So if I have a ragweed allergy, which the first allergist said I have a ragweed allergy, I'm just like, oh, that makes sense. When I drank the coffee, and I'm like coughing and hacking.
Well, I can try to get you a name of coffee that's supposed to be better for you. It may be high dollar though. The nutritionist that I follow, she does some kind of she has a special coffee that she uses. But by Bushcraft family, thank you for coming in. She talks about, and it terrifies me to say this out loud, but some coffees possibly could have mold in them. And that could have to do with some of our allergies to the coffee.
Right. The best thing to do, the best thing to do as far as the coffee goes, is get the whole bean and grind it yourself.
Yeah.
And also, I have the Pete's coffee that they sent me to do a video and everything, which I did last year and everything. And I like it, but the strawberry citrus and all, and every time I drink it, I'm like, this just doesn't taste right for some reason. And I'm just like, okay, I'll just put it to the side. I'll just give it to somebody else or whatever. And I'm just like, okay, I'm going to start making a list of the foods I can have. And that was like blueberries or cranberries, which I love both of those. Grapes,
You're not allowed to have blueberries or cranberries either?
No, these are the ones I can have.
You can have. Good. Oh.
Because I was thinking of, the berries family, So I was put blueberries, cranberries, grapes, raisins, gooseberries, goji berries, raspberry, blackberries, currants, and, like sweet potatoes. And it says potatoes, but they specifically say white potatoes don't have. Well, I have fibromyalgia also. So nothing from the nightshade family, which is potatoes, tomatoes, peppers, and eggplant. So we did figure out that Myers has, because they get the smoked paprika. So I had emailed Myers and I asked them, how do you smoke your paprika? What wood do you use? And they use oak. I'm like, we already tested that out. My son made something.
Well, you're even going into spices here. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm trying to grow my own cayenne pepper.
Yeah, get your own. Do your own.
They're not doing anything out there in the front. There's nothing growing yet. So I might have to replant those. But and I have a yellow pear tomato out there. And I don't see it doing anything either right now. So I was like, I might have to replant those. But, I need to do an updated video. But it rained here for 8 days straight or more. And I just, like, every time I go to do a video, it's raining, it's pouring. I'm just like, well, I'm standing in the rain.
I didn't make any videos during the rain part. Well, I made some just from the porch going, look, it's raining. But I stayed inside and just did, cleaning and stuff inside. I have plenty of the stuff to do inside. It's getting kind of weedy out there. I'll admit, if I'm going to keep it real in the garden, you're going to see my weeds because there's some weeds going on. And I went out there today and spider. I went out there earlier and then mosquito. So it was like every time I went out there, some kind of bug trying to attack me. Hello,
Robin just pointed something out that I did not know. She goes, I can have tomatoes as long as it doesn't cause inflammation, especially the dark tomatoes are better for us. Well, that's a good thing to know because I was always wondering if it was the acid in the regular red tomatoes that cause inflammation. Yeah. But I also found out, I have it saved, that they're starting to find out that tomatoes don't cause inflammation. I'm like, well, you don't have fibromyalgia, do you? Do they have fibromyalgia? I don't know.
Maybe
So,
try some of your Roma paste tomatoes from the survival seeds because you know exactly what you put on it. Hello, Brampton Gardner. So
yeah,
you didn't put any pesticides on it because I'm pretty sure you're trying to grow everything organic. So,
yeah.
you
And
know,
gluten is another one that people have come to,
oh yeah. Yeah,
because
we
it's
need
the
someone to
way.
come up and talk about a gluten allergy. If anybody knows anybody that has that particular problem, let us know because that would be a good one to address as well.
Yeah,
I knew yours
that's
was
a
very
lot.
funny, so.
And I could only imagine if it was me finding all that out. I mean, on one hand, yay, I finally figured it
No,
all out. But on the other hand, dang, you know?
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a daunting task because it's like
Yeah.
you Google it and then there's, you see the first 10 pages and then you click on, there's 100 more pages. And sometimes the information is not in that first thing that comes up and you've got to start, keep digging and digging and digging.
Yeah.
Or go to the library and find books. And if it's a book that you like, then go to
And don't,
thriftbooks.com
right.
or try to find like there's one that's Able or a secondhand thrift bookstore to buy those books because I
There's-
still haven't gotten through this book yet.
Always,
have
always,
you ever?
always.
Go ahead.
Hold on. Always, always research what the professional says.
Yes.
I agree. Do some testing of your own vegetables to see if you actually are allergic to that vegetable or if it's just the pesticide you're allergic to.
Yeah.
I wonder if their test that they're giving you is the pure product or the product, I mean, like the tomato or a real tomato from the grocery store that would actually have that pesticide in it.
Yeah, if you tested,
That's a good question.
testing
Testing that stuff on your own. If it's something on your list that you absolutely love and absolutely can grow and try to do yourself, then give that a shot because, I can't imagine having a 100-page list of things I couldn't eat. I'd be like, oh God.
Yeah. Carol has celiac. And see, there's things that they can't eat.
Mm-hmm.
And, and it's like,
Yeah. No.
I'm not trying to get political here or anything, but I am glad who's head of
Yeah, correct.
HSS now because he has a serious point. Fruit Loops didn't have artificial flavoring until the 70s.
That's what's wrong with me. No, I'm just kidding.
So, and all those artificial colors,
Oops.
Yeah.
that's like, for example, Mio.
Yeah.
It's got the red 40 in it. Of course, the probably sorbate 40 and everything else and preservatives. And it's like, you wonder, how do they make this red thing? How does it make it red? How, what is that the basis of? And you start Googling it. I mean, you start reaching it because it's on the website. And it's like,
Reese's Pieces. I bought some Reese's Pieces the other day because I don't usually eat a lot of candy, but I wanted some red dye number 40.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that's just
not surprised. So,
Yeah.
how do you think this tariff thing is going to affect us? Totally not related. I'm just curious because I don't have any news, so I don't really know. What are they thinking is going to happen? Do either of you guys know?
Okay, here's what I know so far. There is all right, so in other countries that want to sell their products, except the big Asian one, there's a 10% tariff across the board. So whether it comes from India,
All other countries are 10%.
all 10%.
But that one is what? Less?
Oh, he put 154% tariff on them because that's what they've done to us. So anything, all right, so we'll take Walmart, for example, because they get a lot of their products from that country.
Yep.
So instead of fingernail clippers, instead of being $1, because that big country wants to charge, you got to add that 150% tariff to that product, costs 50 cents to make. So now, when they pay for it to have it come over here, they got to pay. All right, so it costs them $1 now to, instead of 50 cents, it's going to cost $1 to ship it over here. Well, then Walmart has to sell it for $2 to $2.50 because they got to pay the lights, they got to pay the shipping fees, they got to pay their employees, they got to make money some way.
So we're still going to be getting their products.
Actually,
we're just charging them more money to get it sent over. We're charging them more money to send it over here.
All right, so the trade thing is, we'll go to India. India has cinnamon. I want to get their cinnamon. Okay. Well, they're going to charge me a certain percent of a tariff to have it shipped here. Okay.
Like shipping fees. Your shipping fees.
Right. Your shipping fees.
So the prices are going to go up. That's what's going to happen.
I don't think so.
We're not going to lose products. We're going to have to pay higher prices.
Right.
Well, you know what? That'll be a clue as to what is coming from China. So eventually, American products will be lower than the cost of China's, because
exactly
we're going to end up choosing the dollar clippers instead of the $2.50 clippers. So maybe but we should have been paying attention to that for a long time. And what people don't understand is that they've been sneaking food products into our stores, and we're literally putting their crap into our mouth.
Exactly.
We're not just riding with it with our pen. We're literally taking it and putting it in our mouth. All the vitamins at Walmart,
so
85% are from China. Do you really want to take vitamins from China, guys? No.
So Eli Lilly, Ford, Chevy, Nissan, Kia, there's a couple other, I forgot all the other major, Apple, are coming back to America to start their manufacturing back in America, so they don't have to pay the tariffs to ship stuff over here. So all those companies that left are coming back to America, and all the car companies have been talking with the president, and they've been making deals. He said it's going to be rough for a little bit until everything starts to straighten. They've got a lot of mess to straighten out.
Mm-hmm.
So that other country has also decreased weekly the amount of shipping containers coming over. So they're decreasing it because they don't want to pay. They don't want to agree to what they're doing to us.
Yeah, that's what I thought was going to happen, is that we were going to eventually see empty spots in our stores where they don't want to send their products over because it costs too much. That's what I thought was going to happen.
Well, it might still be like that. So it's best to prepare. And then if you have too much stuff, it saves you money in the long run.
Yeah.
So
keep your extras of things, because you don't want to have to run out and buy new stuff. So now's not a good time to go put everything. Linda's having a giveaway at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
it's a giveaway.
Yeah. Well, that's just like the gas prices. If we talk about that. And I don't know exactly where, but as of right now, one state in America, the gas is $1.89 a gallon, because he's done open up the pipeline and getting that straightened out where we have our own gas and not paying $100 a barrel for, to get gas from.
Yeah, that's went down.
Which we should have been doing that a long time ago. Like we're giving into money, and we're giving into money, and we should be producing our own products, and Americans should get number one choice on buying and using those products, and not sending our best stuff over there to them either.
Well, and they also send our food.
Crap. I don't want your crap, and I don't want you to have my crap either.
Yeah, they send our stuff over there, and then they repackage it and send it back to us.
Yes.
How does that make any sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's like Tom Selleck. He has he used to, I think he still does have his avocado farm in California. Why aren't we getting his products? Why we have to get it from Mexico?
No, yeah, exactly. Those here.
He grows avocados. Why aren't we buying it from him?
Who is it?
Tom Selleck.
Oh, there's a lot of avocado farms in America.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But that's why we should all be growing our own food. So Simply Jan Homestead did a garden tour when she was in Texas at her daughter's house. And her daughter had a whole huge section of asparagus, right? So I'm not a huge fan of asparagus. It's not my thing necessarily. But Bob and Lori sent me some seeds. So I'm actually going to put in an asparagus section, and it's going to be part of my survival garden. So if something does go crazy, asparagus will keep coming back every year, right? You don't have to keep planting it. It'll just keep coming back, right?
Yes.
And so that's a great thing.
That's what you want.
And if you need to have those things that will keep coming back. I've been trying to throw out some extra seed in a wild section of my yard just to see if I could get some ground cherries.
Like artichoke. I don't know if you could do that. Artichoke, that comes back every year.
Yeah.
Like a lot of your herbs will.
Yeah. Asparagus, that's easy. The first year is really thin. So that's your first year. The second year, it gets bigger. So the third year, you're going to have a nice big asparagus.
Yeah, I used to tease Phil and send her a picture of me eating when I just pick it and
I'm going to try it. Maybe it's one of those things that, like
fresh.
What I tried to explain to my younger sister, because she just started gardening, she's on here too, is that you've tried the carrot in the store, okay? And you think it's pretty good, right? But when you try your own carrot at home, you realize that there's actually chemicals on the outside of that carrot that you can taste, that if you have your own home grown, it doesn't have that flavor. So you're like,
wow.
It's like the carrot without the little extra twang.
So just to let y'all know, Oregon is on the national news, but don't judge us all because I'm in Oregon.
Oh, yeah, the fentanyl.
Yeah. The biggest bust in the U.S. history of fentanyl.
Build and grow. Yep, that's right. I'm going to read it. I'm going to do some research, and if I get a successful crop, I will officially try them. Hubby does like asparagus, so it's not a complete loss. And like I say, it's a survival food because it'll just keep growing and growing. So I'm establishing one bed just for the asparagus.
I love asparagus.
Build them and they will come.
Yeah, maybe if I make my own and control like what is put on it and everything.
That's a good movie.
Maybe it'll work. So I'm going to give it a try, guys. Thank you for helping me think outside the box. And I'm going to start my asparagus tomorrow, provided there are no spiders in the bed I'm trying to plant.
Yeah, you need to bring a little whacker stick to fling it away or something.
I think I'm going to finish cleaning that section with the hoe. instead of getting right down there. Because I got a piece of cardboard because the ground is still wet. I sat down and I was trying to dig it out. I was on the phone with Heather, and the spider just starts crawling up, and I'm like, "Oh
She's
no,
like, no, get back, stay.
yeah, stay back, stay back, stay back." Yeah,
I wish I could have saw her move.
got up
No,
quick.
I would have too, though. I don't like. There's one in my barn, like this round.
Oh.
No.
Yeah, bite walk and hook people up. Yeah. I also got some really interesting lettuce from Lori and Bob, so I'm going to try to plant some of the lettuce tomorrow.
You're going to have to show that, Mr. Bob.
Yeah, I have celery and fennel and all. So, because I know where I got these seeds, they're either from Baker Creek, Sarah's Seed Shop, Mary Heirloom Seeds, or the seeds from Jennifer Ocean Homestead. So I know where these seeds came from. So that's why I was like, my experiment is growing my own food to see if I have a reaction to it. And if I don't, that's I gotta replant those peppers, cayenne peppers. I have banana peppers and cayenne peppers, and nothing yet. And the seeds sprouted because I did the paper towel method.
Yeah.
So I know they have sprouted, but I don't see anything growing. So I'm gonna just direct sow and see what works, see what happens.
Soak your seeds before you plant them in the ground. That'll help with germination as well.
Yeah.
Because
just do all seeds that way.
Yeah, I'm still working on my getting lavender to grow someday. In loofah. This year I have loofah up. And I've got loofah up. I've even got a couple of little tiny loofah. I've just never got one of those foot long.
I want one of those too. I need to get mine planted.
Yeah, so I have what I did this year strategy was just to plant it in several places and see if I could get it up by, giving it more chances, basically, by putting it in more places.
You need to sing to your garden.
Sing. Oh, I can't sing. I can't sing a tune in a bucket. What are you talking about?
Sing a song. Make it simple.
Neither one of y'all are going to say a word, are you?
Yeah.
That's why I like that. Whatever. I can sing too. It was so fun singing in that U-Haul truck.
Oh, you got a video come out on that.
Echo, and I have recordings.
So before we started the live today in the private chat, just me and Nancy and Heather, I sang them a song.
She's very good. Don't let y'all sit there here. She said I can't sing. Gail can sing.
I wanted to see if y'all would say anything, and neither one of y'all said a word.
Because we were letting you sing. It was nice to listen to. I was like,
yeah. So I sang one of the songs that I'm going to sing at the meetup. I sang it to them in the private chat.
Yeah.
So they got to hear a Gail solo today.
There's a lot of times that you want to hear something, an FYI dorky moment.
Yep.
I'll be driving in my truck and I turn the music up and I sing whatever song's on as loud as I can. Sometimes I think I sing pretty good, sometimes not so much. But I try often. I'm like, oh, I love this song, and I'll record myself. And then I look at it and I'm like, oh, I look horrible. Or I sound horrible or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure somebody will be recording at the meetup and they'll catch some of my singing. I know me and Jan and Linda are going to get up and do a funny song. So I need to work on practice.
Yeehaw.
Well, it's actually not a yeehaw song, but I do have, one of the songs that I'm going to sing, but probably be by myself. I'm going to sing that song, Grandpa by the Judds. Have you heard it? That's the only country one I'm going to attempt to sing. I've been practicing that one too, Grandpa by the Judds.
How about Save a Horse, Ride a
Cowboy.
What?
So y'all have to check that out and see what comical song me and Linda and Jan sing at the meetup, because we're going to be all the host of the meetup, so we're going to all participate, and I'm sure somebody will catch that on video. I gotta admit, it won't be me.
I can see Jan.
I will not be videoing it. So if you find it, it'll be a treasure hunt to see where it is, because it won't be me videoing it.
You know what? You lie. That's a lie.
Oh, Save a Hoist, Ride a Cow. Was she me? Maybe she hasn't heard it.
What? Because I can see her with a broom on the table, the picnic table, into that. See? Gail made me do it.
I actually found who's going to sing a couple of songs with me. Adrian from Indiana Backyard Gardener.
Oh, yeah. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
If I was going, I would sing with you.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That would be fun. Well, hey, Heather, we're going to plan that for 2026. Don't forget the chicken dance.
Or walk like an Egyptian. Oh, you remember that song?
The way, the other way.
Yeah. Or walk like a dinosaur. Boom, chaka-laka-laka.
Well, okay, here's a clue. If you were going to be in a drinking establishment, said song might be playing. And it is kind of an old song. It's been out for a while.
Say what? Say that again.
It would play in a drinking establishment. And it's a fun song. It is not a country song. And it's not an NSYNC song. I think Jan would scoop me out of the building if I mentioned it.
Is it that one? Bad Boys, what you gonna do? Oh.
No, that's you, Heather. That's the song you're going to sing, Bad Boys.
I don't know what would they say.
I don't know. You see Jan singing a Spice Girls song. Seriously, Jennifer? Oh, I know. Me too. Well, I need to start playing the lottery, because that's the only way I'd be able to get you here, Ariel, is to play the lottery.
Last time I went to a bar.
I can't tell, though, because Jen was my butt.
Country club.
I don't go to bars.
It was about 20 years ago. But it was a country club, so.
We're not going to guess.
Oh, I know. She has blonde hair, and she says, like a, hey.
Madonna? I can't see Jen singing a Madonna song either. But it would be funny.
I can see her sister doing that.
Loose Faucet, yeah. I don't know if the Loose Faucet's going to make an appearance. If she's
Footloose. I like Footloose.
Break out. I love Footloose. Actually,
I have a 45 of Footloose from when I was a kid.
Do you?
Mm-hmm. I have my 45.
Footloose. Kick off.
Oh, we're going to get in trouble.
Yeah, we are.
I don't think any of us.
Like, if it's like
Sunday hat, Lulu, shoe, and we changed the words. It's my own words.
Who let the dogs out? Oh,
meow, meow. Oh. Bark, I don't know.
Margaret.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I like this song that says blue. You know that one.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. When I was at Pinecone Fest, I sung a duet with Amy from Leonard Mountain Homestead, and we sang um, the other Judd song. Something about crazy. No,
Mama, I'm crazy. Crazy.
crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy over me. Crazy over me, or something like that. Anyway, I was not prepared. I did not know that she was going to pick that song, 9 to 5. That would be funny, 9 to 5. Yeah.
How about Wobble? Wobble, baby, wobble, baby.
Oh, I don't know that song.
It's workout music.
I've heard it. I kind of heard a little of it. Googling it, no songs I know. Yeah.
Ooh.
Private eyes, they're watching you. They see your every move.
Yeah.
There it is.
For me, it'll be Lauren Daigle, because that's my favorite Christian artist. And it'll be I said,
Apple
Crazy for You. Oh,
jeans.
I'm actually pretty good with Tanya Tucker. I could sing that pretty well. There's maybe a couple of notes I struggle with just a little bit in that song. So I wouldn't probably.
I was at Walmart the other day, and there was a lady who had some of those boots. And I'm like, it's almost summertime, but okay. I almost kind of got my phone. It's like, I almost did it. I didn't, though.
Maybe we can have someone film at least the comedy one for everybody to see. Maybe we can get at least my hubby. Hubby can film it for you. At least the comedy one. But if we do not all the songs, it will probably make me a tad nervous. But I do admit having the camera in my face probably would make. But with me and Jan and Linda, a Tupac song.
Yeah, I listen to all kinds of stuff from.
Me too. What's the answer, Gail? I can't.
And it always empowers me. I'm like, yeah.
Oh yeah, it does. The song does involve costumes. Yes, it does. We will be in costume. Matter of fact, I need to make sure to bring one particular piece of my costume because it's something that won't be provided for me.
X-rated?
50 Cent song? No.
I got it.
Put your hand out, Heather, so I can take the ruler on it.
Oh yeah.
Heather. You never know what's going to come out of Heather's mouth. Just absolutely just don't know.
We could be talking about planets 1 minute.
We're talking about dairy free, and then we're talking about music. You just know, and then we're talking about tariffs. And I'm trying to explain stuff and ask questions so I understand when people are talking to me what exactly they're talking about. So I was right on that.
And everything we said is
product.
What's the word that you use? What's the word that you use when you're telling a fact that isn't a fact?
Hearsay.
Huh?
Hearsay.
Yeah. There's some different words. Maybe.
Yeah. What we talked about here was
do your own research.
Hearsay about the tariffs and not at all medical advice.
No.
There you go.
Yeah. Don't allegedly. There it is. Allegedly, all of this thing for the last hour and a half allegedly is maybe false. Do your own research.
Maybe true.
I'm not a doctor. I don't portray one on TV. Never been a doctor, so you know.
Yeah.
I say when I talk about medical stuff,
I can pretend, but I don't want
to. The closest I got to the medical field was I worked in medical coding and billing. I was a receptionist for medical, and I worked in medical records. So I did the billing and coding where you code the pieces. So when you talk about medical things, like earlier, she was talking about the allergy thing, and I said panel because I worked in medical coding. So I may not sound intelligent in all things, but if you're talking about certain medical things, I can finish what you're saying because I did study and learn and go to school for that. So,
yeah, I worked at a retirement home when I was 14. And then I worked at a huge health insurance agency for 3 years. I was the medical claims specialist where I ID'd claims that came in from like the Oregon Health Plan or commercial companies and stuff. And then I got promoted to the dental claims department. And then I was like, bye.
Yeah. I worked for a mortgage company in bankruptcy for about 5.5 years.
Ew.
Yeah. But my job was not exactly like everybody else's. I had always the fastest computer because I would go into the different chapters and counties of each state, and I would print out all the bankruptcy information with all the new information. I would print those and staple those and hand those to the people. So everybody was like so jelly that I had the fastest computer, but it's because I needed to get in there, get it printed, and get out.
There you go.
Yeah. So that was my job. I did that. So I've done a little bit of everything. I stocked groceries.
I helped assist surgeons in a vet clinic.
I gave a shot at an allergy clinic.
Oh.
What did you used to do, Nancy?
I was an EMT for 8 years.
I knew you had some medical job. I knew there was some. Yeah. For some reason, I get yours and Kathleen's professions mixed up because Kathleen with My Alabama Farm Life was a 911 operator. And I get them confused sometimes. And for some reason, I wanted to say you were the 911 operator. It was her. Hello, Ann. You missed us acting crazy and talking crazy.
Well, I did. When I was going to college, I started out doing paralegal. And then I switched to early childhood education.
Yeah. Oh, and I was a paraprofessional for 3 years in the Breckenridge ISDs, as a teacher's assistant with special needs children. So I am the jack of all trades, master of none.
That sounds like me.
Yeah, I did it all. I stocked groceries at Walmart. I was a cashier. I was a shift manager at a Blockbuster back when they had Blockbuster movies.
Ooh, I miss Blockbuster.
I worked for billing. I did billing at it was called Rhode Island Novelties that had all the little goofy fun items. I did billing for them. So I did a little
fun items was that?
And I had kind of like fake vomit, fake dog poop, stuff like that. I had acquired some carpal tunnel from all my years of billing type stuff. So I don't have the most strong wrist for stuff. So, yeah.
Oh, and talking about the food allergies.
Katie's Kitchen.
Right around the same time in August and everything. Now, y'all know I had the carpal tunnel surgery, release surgery. Yeah. Well, August, September, and everything. All of a sudden, this hand started acting up, and this finger was like a trigger finger, and it would get stuck, and I would have to pull it open and everything. I thought I was crocheting too much, and so a month ago, I went to a different orthopedic because I wanted to see if the carpal tunnel had failed or whatever. So he was, he got me to do what I was doing, and I told him about what the food allergies and stuff. He goes, well, let's do the cortisone shot and let's see if that works. And if, because they was swollen. Right here was so swollen and everything. And I'm like, okay, I really didn't want to do it because the last time I had the blood clots with it and everything. But we talked about it. So I got the shot and it started helping.
Yeah.
Stop eating ground beef and pork and all that again. That's all related.
Oh. So you didn't need the cortisone shot.
I didn't need no cortisone shot. I just needed.
I mean, that's good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah.
Sorry. I had it. It got so bad. I actually would be brushing my hair and have the pins and needles going up my arm. It got to that point. And I would just rest it. I would just rest it and just not. Like when I wasn't at work, I was trying not to use my hands to rest my wrist, But even now, like if I'm going to do some arm weights for this challenge that we're doing, which I'm going to need to start mine today, I guess. Anyway.
Yeah. Get on it.
Get on it, girl. So,
what if you use some KT tape or something like that? Do you know what KT tape is? It's kind of like stretchy stuff that you can stretch around. Like
the stuff they put on you after you have blood drawn.
Yeah. No.
No, not really. It's like if you have like a heel spur or a sore joint or something, it doesn't stick to your skin, but it's stretchy, kind of like this and black.
I guess I don't know what that is.
Okay, so there's KT tape or vet wrap, and it's stretchy. It doesn't stick to your body. Anyways, if you maybe go like this with something, or one of those, whatever you call these things, a brace. Maybe you should do that. Yeah, that, what Nancy has there.
Oh.
So if you have like a bum foot or an ankle or a wrist or a shoulder blade or ribs or something, sometimes wrapping it around and holding it in place while it heals.
Yeah.
And you can still breathe and you can take it off. It doesn't hurt you. And
yeah, my most recent problem right now is just struggling a little bit with the back. Like right after, because you guys are just now putting your stuff in the garden. So but remember, I was doing mine in March. So that's why in March I was in so much pain. Right. I would be out there for hours and not realize I was out there for that long. So the next day I would pay and have to rest a few days. And then I'd go back out there and try not to push it. But every time I would push it too hard in the garden, the back. So the back's the most current thing right now. But I realized that if it hurts like that, I just got to rest it. Just like the wrist. Right. If it hurts, I got to rest
and it might just be some sort of a brace or something that you can wear to reduce the exposure or extra whatever pressure you're doing. Yeah.
Carpal tunnel gut.
So we should probably get off here and let these beautiful people get back to whatever they were doing.
Yes, definitely.
Right, especially.
I will be back. I will be back on Friday at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Subject to be determined on by Friday. I'll figure it out by Friday. But anyway, thank you so much, Nancy, for coming up and talking about your dairy-free and also just laughing, giggling out with us.
Don't forget, we're doing the 30-day challenge for Healthy Goals Wednesdays. You get to choose whether you want to do walking, arms, or legs. You can choose all three of them or two of them or one of them if you want. It's up to you. You choose how long you want to do it, how many you want to do it, what days you want to do it. The goal is to do it for 30 days. And then in 30 days, we're going to be like, that felt good. Or, I feel different or whatever. Hopefully.
Yeah. In my case, I'm going to try to help with the flabby arms. We'll see how I do.
Yeah.
No.
You got this.
I'm already doing walking, so I might as well just add
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah.
thank you guys.
Nancy, it was
And
so nice talking to you.
Oh, thank you. I enjoyed it too.
you had a lot of great knowledge to offer about being dairy free and also allergies and things like that, and getting it kind of narrowed down. And maybe wanting to check back with you on your test to see if you can eat some of those things they told you not to eat. But
Yeah,
if you
that would be very interesting.
grow it without the
She'll do it.
chemicals, are you still going to have a problem? So I would like to see a test on that. I'd like to know, because I kind of feel like maybe you might be able to eat some of those things without the chemicals from the stores on them.
Exactly.
Good job, Lori. Exactly.
Yep, you guys are doing a great job in your garden. It looks really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
So, yeah. Thank you guys. Don't forget to go over at another time over to her channel. She's having a live giveaway for her
100K subscribers.
Wow.
In 15
cool.
minutes.
Yeah, so go over and see her channel in about 20 minutes. Am I right?
15, 20 minutes. Yep. That's it.
So, thank you, Nancy. Again.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Bye,
Bye, guys. Bye, Gail. Bye, everybody. Have a great evening.
See you later.
Bye.